who has changed, or in whose tenure the face of tourism is going through metamorphosis. Somebody, a Minister of Tourism and Cultural Affairs, who has won more awards than any other tourism minister before now. Somebody who has traveled extensively all over the world, telling people that Sierra Leone is ready for tourism. That the story of Sierra Leone has changed from a war-torn country, a country where Ebola strikes, a country where everything people hear about are negative things, a country that was struck by mudslide and other negative vices. She's on a journey to rebrand tourism and cultural affairs in Sierra Leone. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Sierra Leone's Minister of Tourism and Cultural Affairs, Dr. Memunatu Pratt.
very much. Thank you very much. Let me take this opportunity of, first of all, welcoming you on behalf of the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, the ministers, the government, and people of Sierra Leone, that we are so delighted for you to be here. I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart because I know a lot of people have been following you since you came. Because most of what you've been doing has been on social media. People have been asking. We have some Gola Geechee people who are around, African Americans, what is happening? What are they doing here? Their brothers and sisters, so people have been interested in what you're doing. So indeed, we're extremely happy. And I want to take this opportunity to congratulate Famultik. Shall we recognize Amadou Wassili and of course Tamba and all those in the Famultik organization? From the government perspective, we thank you very much. We are thanking you for many things. But first among most is for the fact that you have been able not only to rebrand Sierra Leone, but to be able to bring along 50 or more African Americans from North South Carolina, from the Gola Kinship to Sierra Leone. This is the biggest group we've got for many, many years. The biggest we've got for many, many years. This means a lot to Sierra Leone. Because you are coming in at a time when we are rebranding this country. At a time when we want more ambassadors abroad. At a time when we need neutral voices to speak on our behalf, to tell our stories, to tell them the goodness of Sierra Leone. Somebody said Sierra Leone's value is underrated and underestimated globally, and it's true, because we have not been doing enough to let people know that Sierra Leone is a competitive destination. Here we are today in a country where we are reviving the economy. We have a large number of young people in school, out of school, no jobs. We have resources that we need to add on. We need to ensure that it pays the resources that we need. We as a government, we've made human capital development as our goal. So what does this mean for people like you to come? It means there is hope. Listening to all of you, the interest you've had, the different skills that you have, it means Sierra Leone is going to profit, is actually going to benefit from this visit. Because all of the areas which you've highlighted are areas which are in need of development in this country. We need development in all of those areas. So this is very important. I know you have come to link up with your ancestral roots. Because today in the world, we are talking about year of return. We are talking about how do we celebrate, how do we link up, how do we ensure that African Americans come back to their roots, link with their heritage, and help to develop the local economy. So it's a very, very important time which you spend to come to Sierra Leone. We all know what is happening in other places, like Ghana, that have been able to bring over 200,000 different people. Some of them are mere tourists, but through the connections, a lot of activities are going on. We also are doing our best to ensure that 2020 becomes our own year of return.
Yes.
And of course, you are going to be the showcase for that.
Yes.
You will be the showcase for declaration of our year of return. So people know that we have started. But at independence, we'll make the declaration. What is implied? It means that all the 6, 7, 8,000 African Americans that their DNA has traced them to Sierra Leone, they have all expressed interest to come. And I know we've had quite a number of people who have come over to us for us to be able to make those arrangements so that we start to bring them to Freetown, bring them to Sierra Leone, not necessarily Freetown, because a number of them have their roots in other parts of the country. This is big for us. This is huge for us, what is happening here. Now, as we sit here, many people across the country are listening to what is happening here. They are listening to what you are saying. And slowly people are connecting to you. And And if they are connected to you, it means that we need to work together in terms of the aftercare processes of all what you've said. We have ministries, we have agencies, we have NGOs, we have CBOs, we have CSOs that are ready to work with you, that we want to share of what you have, in the sense that they can be able to ensure that they work with you to implement your dreams, your passion, what you want to do. So this is really great for us. Now, we also like to mention that within the tourism sector, we have tried very hard in the past 1.5 years for us to rebrand Sierra Leone, both in the tourism and the cultural sector. We've been to many parts of the world. That's the very first time Sierra Leone, within 1.5 years, has been to over 10 destinations. It has never happened before.
That's great.
And we go there to tell the Sierra Leone story. We use the media. But what this means is that the individuals, people like you, are more important in this business. Because as somebody says, your acquaintances, your social media connections, your schools, your churches, your communities, your local councils, you will take all of these messages to them. So you have actually become part of the rebranding of Sierra Leone. And I will proclaim all of you as ambassadors.
Thank you.
Ambassadors for rebranding of Sierra Leone. Because I know through one person, we will have hundreds of people to come. Hundreds and hundreds of people to come. And also in the tourism sector, we are at a time when we are looking for champions. People like Amadou, who can relentlessly as Sierra Leoneans sacrifice their time to bring people to do this work. Because the markets, the tour operator market is still very weak. So we need people who can do these kind of things for us, who we can encourage as government, for them to be able to be the bridge between us and those abroad. So we have more and more people to come, more jobs to come, more development to come, and maybe for the young ones, in fact, maybe more marriages to come.
Oh, Satana.
So I think for us, it's really a happy new year for Sierra Leone. The start of this program, early in the year, signals a lot. It means there is hope. It means Sierra Leone is going to surprise the rest of the world. Already, CNN has positioned Sierra Leone as the 12th most peaceful destination. So it means that we are peaceful. So what, especially for travels. And we are also in the process of revamping our domestic tourism, wherein we can get Sierra Leoneans themselves to travel in their own country, do city tours, boat tours, engage in climbing mountains, going to ecotourism sites, because I'm sure because you have a very limited schedule, you've not been able to explore Sierra Leone fully. There are many, many different parts that you would have loved to go to. So I know because of that, you may come back. And when you come back, you're going to see more and more and more. And we're also open to people who want to invest in Sierra Leone. Who want to invest in Sierra Leone, who want to work in Sierra Leone, who want to partner with people in Sierra Leone. We are all open for that. The atmosphere is there. The climate is there. The hospitality is there. The willingness is there. The youth energy is there. A very proactive president is there. Proactive government is there. So what we need is strong connections like this. That is why we are very proud that it's our own people that are doing this. Because I have spent a lot of time trying to get people abroad to do this. So I am re-emphasizing this point. Because when your own people do this, it means it's not only about the sacrifice, it is about the passion which they bring to the country. which they bring to the process that I think is important. Because we are all in this together, because we want to be one country. We want to let Sierra Leone not only be competitive, but a country of envy. So when you go out there and you say, I have link with Sierra Leone, somebody will look at you and say, indeed, this is a quality person. This is a quality country. We have so much. I know over the years, so many challenges have happened, but it's now a new direction. It's now a new beginning.
Yes.
So that is why we are really excited. For me, I am overwhelmed because I've been looking for people who can help us in the sector. And I've seen all of you. So what it means is that going forward, I will have to be engaging in things that have to do with policy, things that have to do with implementation of laws, finding maybe monies that we can be able to run the sector. But like activities like this is really for the private sector. It is not for government. So I want to tell everybody in Sierra Leone that this example is what we want to see. It is not a question of sitting at home, theorizing, or sitting somewhere, giving all the solutions, and you are not part of the answers. Practically come on ground and show something. Show something. Then you can start talking. And this is where we are today. You all look like Sierra Leoneans. Yeah. If anybody walks into this room now and then without saying anything, definitely my sister there with the hair tie, I am sure the person will just walk to you and start to speak Creole. Of course. Or maybe speak Mende, or maybe speak Ranko, or speak Madingo, or speak whatever, because you all look like us. Yeah. So that is why we have to keep this relationship together. We have to work on this relationship. Today, we need support for restoration. We need the skills for restoration. We need the skills for conservation. We need the skills for creative and performing arts in the schools. We need the skills for developing the technical, vocational institutions in all of these areas. Because that is the new horizon of Sierra Leone. Where the jobs are. Which can take us to the higher heights. Which can let us to compete. This is Sierra Leone today. And this is what all of you are talking about. I hope you've enjoyed all of this, the time you've spent here. Yes. And I'm sure every bit of time has been meaningful to you. Yes. Yes. Very meaningful, purposeful. That I see in all your faces. That probably if you had your way, you may not want to go back. And you may want to stay a little bit longer. But it's always time to say goodbye. There's always time for you to come again. Whatever you want to do, our doors are open. I will build a link. Of course, the Ministry of Tourism is in charge of all of this. But we link and we work with other ministries. We run a very strong interministerial process. Wherein, with the Ministry of Tourism, we link with all the ministries. So if, by the virtue of what you want to do, you can link with Amadou, they can link with us, but he too can link with other processes. But at the top level, we can make that happen. So if you have your plans, he can help as well. But we can also help also in terms of working with our colleagues to make it happen. This is Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone, North and South Carolina, historically we are one. We wish you all the best. And we want to see all of you to come back. And I will also look forward to meeting you in your own homes, in Georgia, in North Carolina, in South Carolina.
Yeah, welcome.
So that we can spread the message more. I am looking forward to the opportunity I will have in 2020 to link with Amadou, so that I also pay a return visit also. Yes. 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 Now to the Monuments and Relics Commission, that is the job. Purely, they have responsibility for restoration, they have responsibility for monuments, and then they also have responsibility for root and heritage tourism. So, for those of you who have got ideas around that, of course, they are the people to talk to. Of course, eventually it has to get to me. but they are the people to talk to. We have the cultural directorate as well. We have the tourism directorate. We have the National Tourist Board. We have the International Theatre Institute. So we have all of these outfits in government. But what we are saying is human capital development. Tourism is now one of the leading sectors of government, and it's moving at a very fast and very alarming rate. We want people who invest in hotels. We want people who can invest in guest houses, who can invest in creative and practical art, who can support the entertainment industry, who can support vegetable growers. We need people in all of these areas who can support the causes of young women, young men, those who have not the opportunity to go to school. So there is so much for us to do. So on that note, let me take this opportunity of not only thanking you, but wishing you well, because this is my very first function in 2020. And then also to thank Famultic and all the rest, and we are ready to work with them. We are ready to support them, because we showcase them as an example which other Sierra Leoneans should emulate, so that we start this business proper. On that note, let me wish you well. Say hi to all the relatives that did not come. Tell them the next trip they have to be here. And that it is the best for all of us. Thank you very much. God bless you. Wishing you safe trip back home.